Okay, she just started.
Let me see it.
Okay, thank you.
But you can hear everything, no?
Here we are.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Victoria Ortega. I am this year's National Honor Society President. I am very happy to be sharing this pleasant evening with you. Today we will be acknowledging outstanding students from Bel Air High School. On behalf of the National Honor Society, I want to thank parents, students, faculty, administrators, school board members, and other guests for joining us today in the celebration, in person or in the live stream. At this time, I would like to ask you to please rise for the presentation of colors by the Valor Color Guard and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance and Texas flag. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You can all be seated.
As we gather here today as members of the Bel Air High School community, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community. Keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen.
Thank you, Alexis. Can you please all help me welcome our principal, Mr. Charlie Versus?
Good evening and welcome tonight. We're so very proud to see so many of our students here with us today, and our parents, community members, thank you for joining us today. I know it's through the YouTube, but we believe that you're sending us your positive energy tonight in support of our students. But before we even honor our inductees, I do want to send a word of thanks and gratitude to our community members, our parents, our staff, our teachers, everybody that has been rallying this year to support instructional practices and to make life as normal as possible. I always tell people, although we faced many obstacles this year, we faced them united. Tonight, I would briefly like to talk about what it means to be resilient or to have grit. Psychologist Angela Duckworth gave the word grit a new colloquial connection when she began studying the trait of grit and its relation to success. And our students who have been here long enough understand that grit is not only a word we use, but a word that we live by. Angela Duckworth's findings were inspiring. There was a direct correlation between how successful a person is and how much grit that person has. More of a connection than someone's success to IQ or success to raw talent. In fact, the most encouraging thing about the results is that unlike talent and IQ, grit can be taught and built in all of us, meaning that anyone from anywhere is capable of success. So what is grit? Well, Webster Dictionary defines grit as firmness of mind or spirit, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. And according to Mrs. Duckworth, grit is passion and perseverance for a very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future day in and day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. As the old saying says, you only fail if you don't get back up. This idea is the very heart of grit. And people with grit see their failures as a reason to try harder instead of a reason to give up. They take their mistakes in stride without so much as missing a step, and they learn from them as they go along. Students with grit are more likely to graduate, and according to Duckworth's research, those gritty students are the ones who, when told to reconsider their goals because they don't have what it takes, will try twice as hard to prove everyone wrong. When they struggle, they will dial up the determination and push with all their might. Students with grit look struggles in the eye and say, "You will not define me," because every obstacle is merely a speed bump to drive over. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor our gritty NHS inductees who define the true romance of the human spirit. Despite obstacles and hardships of the pandemic, they have charted the course in the right direction and committedly have reached one of their destinations. I encourage all of us to continue to support our students in every way possible, because with our support and their gritty spirit, they are destined to continue on the right path. Inductees, we expect you to continue exhibiting the National Honor Society characteristics of scholarship, leadership, service, and very, very important, character. Remember, nothing can stop the spirit of someone who is fully committed to never give up. Congratulations, and we are very, very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for those inspiring words. Now, please help me welcome a special person who understands the importance of education and has been part of a family of educators for over 150 years. We are very fortunate to have him as part of the Bel Air family. Assistant Principal, Mr. Wes Moninger.
Get the microphone closer.
It's pretty exciting to see people again. We haven't had this many people in one room in a year and a half, so that's something pretty special. The theme tonight is resiliency, and it's a good theme because this year has been all about being resilient, and the other theme could possibly be reinvention, because you all reinvented what it was to be a high school student. Teachers reinvented what it was to be a high school teacher. Tonight for me is kind of unique and kind of special, because believe it or not, I think other than the soccer team and the basketball team, you're the first group of students I've spoken to in over a year and a half. Probably the best part of my job is speaking to students. Just like you lost some of your school, things you liked were taken away, we lost things too. You are a very unique group because in this most trying of times you excelled and maintained your level of excellence and academic success. My favorite all-time author is Charles Dickens. He wrote the opening line of his most famous novel, A Tale of Two Cities. He said it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This is a great summary of what we've all been through together this year for these past 15 months. On the upside, all of us learned new computer skills that are going to last us a lifetime. All of us learned new ways to interact with each other, and all of us, for better or worse, got to spend a lot more time with our families than we would have spent in what we would call a normal year. On the downside, or potentially the downside, you all did not have the typical high school experience. No football games, no marching band, no prom, no homecoming, and what many, many of you told me, no fun. It is to our fortune that life lessons can be learned in both good times and in bad times. Many of your classmates struggled, many of your teachers burned themselves and wore themselves out, and all of us felt a level of anxiety and trepidation that we've never felt before, and that before the pandemic we couldn't have even imagined. In spite of these trials and tribulations, we are gathered here tonight to celebrate excellence, perseverance, and academic success. You all succeeded where others struggled. You continued where others stopped. You started and finished when others started and quit. You showed Mr. Garcia's favorite word, you showed grit. National Honor Society is a special group because to join it, you need to be smart, earn the right GPA, and you also have to do service for the betterment of your community. It's unfortunate that high academics and community service are sometimes not given the recognition they rightfully deserve. If I could be God's superintendent, president, king, anything like that, I would add a page to every newspaper right before the sports section to talk about good things that kids do other than athletics. Don't get me wrong, as a former coach, I think the sports section is wonderful, but there's a whole lot more that goes on in the high school than football and basketball and baseball. And I wish there was a way to celebrate that in the paper so that the whole city could see what you all have done and what you do on an everyday basis. You are here because you worked hard, be proud of that. You are here because maybe your first grade teacher made you love reading. Maybe your second grade teacher said you were really, really good at math and you should push that. Maybe one of your teachers encouraged you to participate in the science fair or told you to join the band or to try out for the play. Good teachers and coaches see potential. Great teachers nurture those natural gifts and talents into greatness. Greatness is what tonight's all about. School is only a very small part of the equation tonight, however, though. Home plays an even bigger part. What your parents did to get you here tonight is every bit as important as what your teachers did. Parents teach manners and morals. It's at home where homework is done. In many cases, you did it because mom and dad said it was very important, and in many other cases, sometimes you did it because they said do it or else. Sometimes you were left with no choice, but they knew what was best. And because of that, you did well. Your family played a huge role in your success. And of course, you played a big part. You did the work, you made the sacrifices of time, you put in the effort, and you did what was needed to be the very best. Your teachers, your parents, myself, Mr. Garcia, and everyone in this room is proud of you tonight. I began speaking by quoting Charles Dickens' most famous quote about this being the best of times and worst of times. I would like to end it with the second most famous quote from the Christmas Carol. God bless us, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, for those encouraging words and life of service. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here this evening for the most prestigious affair, the induction of qualifying students into the Dorothy Cox chapter of the Bel Air High School National Honor Society. By virtue of the authority extended to Bel Air High School in this charter, the Faculty Council is accepting those students who have displayed in their social life the worthy objectives of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society looks upon education as a combination of 4 pillars of life: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. I would like to acknowledge a group of students that have shown traits of these 4 pillars in their years here at Bel Air High School. Our present members of the National Honor Society, will you please rise to be recognized?
All the present members rise. The ones in the back.
At this time, I will now proceed with the formal candlelight ceremony. I will light the center candle that represents truth and knowledge.
I represent scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. When a student is willing to spend hours reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only when the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning ignites the lamp by which we read the past and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the responsibility to continually expand their world through the opportunities in scholarship. I will now light the gold candle representing scholarship.
I represent leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, a real leader strives to guide and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in the country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a significant charge of each of our members. I will now light the purple candle representing leadership.
I represent service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or without recognition, is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow. I will now light the red candle representing service.
force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each of us our own individuality. It is this force of character that guides one through life, and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is a product of constant action, striving daily to make the right choice. The problem of character is a problem of self-control. We must be who we wish to appear to others by demonstrating qualities such as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship. We may hope to prove by example that we value character. I will now light the green candle representing character.
Inductees and members that were inducted last year virtually, as we call your name, please stand and remain standing.
Lisbeth Cardenas. Natalie Diaz. Jasmine Hernandez. Amy Montes. Genesis Ramirez. Vanessa Rubio. Stephanie Rubacava. Danielle Balalia. Danielle Wilson. Maya Acuña. Samantha Barraza. Anaís Contreras. Rudy Potrero.
Julia Diaz. Paola Fuentes. Alice Fuller Nevares. Cristina Gonzalez. Michael Levia. Ian Lira. Frida Marquez. Alexandria Ocampo. Anisa Palacios. Carolina Pichardo. April Ponce. Vivian Santana. Paola Torres. Ana Yoshida. Cristina Acuna. Catherine Aguilar. Lian Aguirre. Andre Aranda. Diego Aranda Garcia. Michelle Alazar. Diego Barron. Samantha Barnell. Amy Bonilla. Desiree Carvajal. Crystal de Avila.
Angelina Dominguez. Elizabeth Dominguez. Joel Elliott. Mia Esparza. Elliot Garcia. Miguel Fernandez. Hazel Lopez. Elisa Martinez. Benjamin Martinez. Veronica Mendez. Norma Mota. Alyssa Ortiz Rodriguez. Mia Pino.
Stephanie Rodriguez. Alani Rukovo. Ian Sanchez. Chris Shine. Sofia Valdivia. Alexa Vela. Alyssa Boyd. Matthew Barron. Anaí Cano. Alejandra Cano. Andrew Castro. Iran Diaz. Santiago Dominguez.
Ariana Gonzalez. Siana Gonzalez. Joshua Granillo. Stephen Hernandez. Leah Mendoza. Osvaldo Moreno. Michael Navarro. Juan Palomares. Noemi Pérez. María Román. Ashley Ramírez. Alexia Ramirez. Angelica Reyes. Lisa Rivera. Tatiana Rodriguez. Vianney Rodriguez. River Russell. Jules Salcido. Rosemary Torres. Denise Villa. Yesenia Alvarado. Emily Adisa. Yeshaya Barasa. Vidali Chavez. Sofia Hernandez. Brandon Ryan. Nicole Gardner. Robbie Hernandez. Ashley Mascoro. Noah Montoya. Marely Moran. Kelly Parra. Ashia Perez. Kayla Porras. Priscilla Rodriguez. Elena Torres. Karen Uribina. Alexa Vasquez. And Jennifer Reyes. Those of you who are standing, please get the pledge card from your bag. Now raise your right hand and recite the pledge after me. I pledge to maintain my high scholastic standing. To endeavor intelligently and courageously to be a leader. To give up myself freely in service to others. And to hold as fundamental and worthy. An untarnished character. Always to seek the light of truth. To hold scholarly habits. To lead forward in all things. In doing so, I shall prove myself worthy. Of a place in the National Honor Society. Now that you have recited the pledge, you are now ready to be entrusted with the torch, the symbol of our society. I come here to present two priceless gifts. The first gift has little value in itself, but it is a candle. Without it, you have no light. Receive the gift of an unlighted candle symbolizes knowledge unused. It possesses every possibility of service, yet serves no one. It lacks the flame. Yeah. Can you guys stand up again, please? Sorry. Those of you standing, please get the candle and guard from the bag in front of you.
Okay, so all you're gonna do is put the candle through the paper, so it forms this thing. Okay. Now from the center flame, which symbolizes the spirit of the National Honor Society, the flame of truth and knowledge, I will light this candle. From this candle, I give you the supreme gift, light. Just as with this flame, I touch the candle and make it a living thing. So may the flame of the Spirit kindle the knowledge and make it a living thing. I give light to you so that you may give light to others.
Just be careful, guys.
Welcome and congratulations for becoming members of the Bel Air High School Dorothy Dox chapter of the National Honor Society. You may turn off the candle. In the packet found on your seat, you will find a certificate, membership card, and a pin. You guys can just blow them out. You guys can be seated.
I just got a couple of words. You probably don't know me, although a lot of you have me in class, so you've probably seen me before. I'm Mr. Ortega. I'm the National Honor Society advisor. I'm the one that has been bugging you for pictures. Been bugging you for emails, addresses, and everything, phone numbers and stuff. I just want to thank you all for being here today. I wanted to include everybody that got inducted last year because we kind of tried to do a virtual induction, but it's not the same thing. So I wanted you all to participate in candle ceremony. I wanted you to participate in the whole thing. Unfortunately, because of the situation we're living right now, that's why we're all spread out and your families are not here. Normally the families are gathered, and you know it's a nice occasion to be together. But hopefully they're with you in spirit and somewhere in the live stream somewhere. The last thing I want to mention is that some of you are, well, the ones on the ends, most of the ones on the ends are the OGs. They've been here for 3 years. They were inducted as sophomores, and actually they did get to work and do some service for the community and for Valor High School before we locked down. So they qualified to receive a stole. And it looks something like this, and they all have it. Unfortunately, the ones that got inducted last year, there was really hard to get you involved in any service because we couldn't. But I know that in your own home, with your families, with your friends, you did a lot of service. So I'm giving you a little box that's inside your bag. If you want to look at it, open it up. And it's a memento from National Honor Society. It's a little medal. Well, it's not that little, but yeah. So you could wear that as a memorabilia for during graduation. Okay? And I thank you again for your service, because I know although we weren't out helping people, we were helping ourselves, we were helping the families, we were helping our neighbors, because it's been a tough year. So I thank you all. I know I'm looking forward to a better year next year. Everything should come to a normality, and we'll continue. We will persevere, correct? Well, I give it back to the president. Thank you.
May God Almighty send you His light and truth to keep you all the days of your life. May the hand of God protect you and bless you. Amen.
Thank you all for joining us today in person or through live stream. Special thanks to Mr. Garcia for always supporting us. Parents, family, and friends, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Once again, thank you and good night.